Back again.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Pretty good. So that was a pretty good episode. Last episode.
It was. That was
Yeah.
fun doing the random questions and everything.
Yeah. And we still have more questions.
Yeah, we went through half of them
Yeah.
last night.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna do more.
Yeah.
You want to do an hour? Or you just want to wait? You want here? Afro Man. Have you been following that?
No. So I don't know what's going on. I keep seeing things pop up of how he won some.
Yeah. It happened in like 2022. Like
Really?
his house got raided because there was supposedly some dungeon that I don't know what kind of dungeon, like a sex dungeon, I don't know. But they raided his house and they found nothing. Like his security cameras caught the officers like raiding his fridge and
What?
something about a pound cake. Like there was a pound cake. I don't know if they actually ate some of the cake, but
Nuh-uh.
like, oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see the actual video. I haven't watched it yet, but they're going through his fridge and just looking through the fridge, and they kicked one of his doors down and found absolutely nothing.
Really?
So now he's making all these videos or music videos with the cops like playing the footage of like
Yeah.
the security cameras, and so they sued him for defamation or whatever.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's a whole. These cops are fucking stupid. Like they're saying, like the one attorney, Afro Man's attorney, was like, "So are you saying that Officer so and so, your wife was cheating on you with Afro Man?" And he's like, There's a possibility, yeah, because of like just some of the lyrics and stuff in Afro Man
Yeah.
songs, like." It's so stupid. It's so bizarre. He ended up winning the case because it's all bullshit.
I seen that, but I
Yeah.
didn't read into it as to what the lawsuit was
Mhm.
about or anything. So,
Supposedly they were taking some of his money that they found, and it's all on camera. And
huh?
yeah,
Well, good for him.
yeah, I like him. I mean,
He hasn't been relevant since like
he is now. Oh,
Well, yeah.
he's streaming everywhere now.
Really?
Oh yeah, like the dude's he's back again.
Hmm.
He's making money off all this shit.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Mhm.
One thing we did not discuss last night:
Mhm.
Chuck Norris
Yeah.
passing away.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that one.
No.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of memes though,
Yeah.
and different things of, he
Yeah.
something about how like he was supposed to have died years ago, but he roundhouse kicked the Grim Reaper, and the Grim
Yeah.
Reaper just now came to
Mhm.
and decided to take him,
Mhm.
and then no one said something about Chuck Norris is now the new Grim Reaper. He took his place or something. I don't know.
Was it just natural causes, or
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know what it was that did it.
Hmm.
But he was like 86 or something.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
was
realize he
old.
was that old.
Yeah, he was really old. Yeah, and like the whole meme when all this started, like with Chuck Norris, he's not even like, I don't know if it's like they're just joking about it, but he's not a badass. Like he's not.
He'd kick your ass.
Well, I'm sure he
I
could.
mean, he
What
could-
I'm saying
he could
is
kick all
like,
of our asses.
what I'm saying is he wasn't one of like the top martial artists of the day back then. He wasn't. I don't know why everyone thought he was.
I thought he was. I thought it was like Bruce Lee
Well,
than him.
Bruce Lee, yeah, Bruce Lee. They had a movie together,
Yeah.
but like watching him, fight in the fight scenes compared to Bruce Lee, he was nothing.
Well, no. I mean, anybody compared to Bruce Lee is nothing. But
Yeah,
I think that back then, anyway, I think it kind of went like Bruce Lee and then him.
I don't know. It just didn't.
Or whatever.
It didn't seem like he was all that.
I mean, he's better than like Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal.
I wouldn't know. No, I wouldn't. I would put Jean-Claude Van Damme over. Chuck
Oh
Norris.
no
Yeah.
way.
Oh yeah. Fundamentally, yeah. I think Van Damme has a lot more skills. And
Did you see that?
he's-
I saw this video. This was a few years ago. Van Damme went to some college, or I don't know. There was some speaking engagement that he was a part of, and he brought this guy on stage that I think kind of knew martial arts or something like that. And Van Damme was like, he told him like, do a roundhouse kick to my face, and I'm going to show you I can block it.
Mhm.
Whatever the case. Dude kicked him square upside his head and knocked his hat off.
I didn't see that.
Like, he wasn't able to quickly get up there to deflect or whatever. It was hilarious. I mean, you look at Van Damme's movies and
Yeah.
stuff,
That's what I'm saying.
epic.
Yeah, if you look at Van Damme's movies and his fighting, so like Bloodsport, you put that
Yeah.
up against some of Chuck Norris's movies, like the fighting is it's polar opposites.
Because I think the Van Damme movies was more like Hollywoodized,
Yeah, but
and
those are
it was less realistic.
but that's him doing those martial arts skills. That's his martial arts.
I think same with Chuck Norris.
It is,
Now, I
but-
haven't seen a lot of Chuck Norris movies. The only one I remember seeing him in is Sidekicks.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever watched like Delta Force or any of those.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like me when I was in karate could have kicked Chuck Norris's
No.
ass.
Oh God.
I'm just saying, like watching him fight in the movies. I never actually watched him spar like in an actual tournament, but it just wasn't very impressive to me. I don't know. I've seen guys like when I was in karate at Robert Bowles
Yeah.
that seemed to be more technical than Chuck Norris. Just from I don't know. Maybe
Right.
I'm wrong. Maybe the dude was a complete badass. I don't know. I have no idea. But I still loved him. I love Chuck Norris. He seemed like a pretty cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Down to
I
earth
wouldn't
and-
fight him even now.
No, I at 86 years old.
No, I mean being dead, I wouldn't fucking fight him. He'd
What?
still kick my ass.
Oh yeah. He'd
Somehow
find
or
a way.
another.
He'd find a way.
He'd roundhouse kick me while in the coffin and still knock me out.
Yeah. Who's that other guy? White, Jaleel White or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
I mean, I'm not saying that Chuck Norris would have like kicked ass in like MMA or something like that, but I'm looking at like for the times, like the 80s,
Yeah.
70s, stuff like that.
Mhm.
He was kind of a badass.
Yeah. No, I agree. But was he all that? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the hype was. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why.
I don't
people
even know what
started
started all
making- Yeah, I have
the
no idea.
memes and
That's what I'm
everything
saying.
else.
I don't know why the meme started.
Yeah.
Then I watched this other thing earlier today. It was like a Facebook short, whatever you call them. And Mike Tyson was on a podcast, and these guys are talking to him like, hey, if Mike, if you weren't a professional boxer, what other sport would you be in? And he's just kind of sitting there thinking, and he like real quick he said, he said I'd be a criminal. He
Yeah.
said, because I hated any other sports. I love to fight. And like the way the dude said it, and these the three guys that were doing the podcast, they just kind of looked at him like, oh, like this guy, he's serious. Like he's serious. He would have been a criminal.
Well, he
He
kind of was.
Well, he was, but I'm saying like
yeah.
boxing saved this dude's life.
Right.
Like,
I'm sure it did.
yeah. Why not get paid to?
God, could you
beat
imagine
the shit out of
a
somebody?
young Mike Tyson comes up to rob you and just
take
knocks you the fuck out?
Take whatever you want.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
it. I would.
So who do you think would win in a fight? Prime Mike Tyson or Bruce Lee?
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah,
I've never.
I
Had,
think it just depends. If
It would
Tyson could get
would have
if
to
he
be
could
Tyson.
land a punch,
it'd have to be Tyson.
if Tyson could land a punch, I
Yeah.
think Bruce Lee's done.
It'd be Tyson.
Maybe dead.
Tyson was fast and strong. He had everything going for him. And Bruce Lee was strong and fast too. But
I think that 1-inch punch ain't gonna do shit on Tyson.
I don't know.
But I mean, he was quick, like with his feet and everything,
Yeah.
and he could probably knock Mike Tyson out with just a kick.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
I can do the 1-inch punch.
Can you?
Used to do it on my friends at school.
No.
I would say, "Okay, come here," and I'd line
Yeah.
my fingers up with their chest, and I pull my fingers back, and I
Uh-huh.
pretty close to 1 inch, I would assume,
Yeah.
and just pop them right in the chest. And they'd go back. I didn't have the chi or whatever you want to call it, but yeah, it worked. I mean, anybody could do it. Like,
You ever tried
Just-
blowing out a candle with just that 1-inch punch?
no,
No.
I'll try it. You got a candle?
Well, we do.
No, I got a bunch too. They're all burnt out.
Yeah. That would be something.
Yeah. I thought I was a badass.
You still do.
I don't think I am. I mean, okay.
What, you know
here's-
that you are?
No, I've toned down a lot since. I know I could hold my own. I think still,
Yeah.
and you could too. But
Eh.
I mean,
I'll bite.
I'll pull your hair,
Do the old
scratch
dick
your eye,
twist.
grab him by the dick. remember when I was a kid in elementary school, like on recess, we would do like karate shit,
Mm.
and like I'm fighting my friends. One of my friends, Justin, that was on my podcast,
Mm.
we talked about this and how he was he wasn't a bully to me, but he was with some of his friends and they were picking on me
Yeah.
at recess. And it was, you remember the bridge?
Yeah.
In the back.
In the back?
Yeah, the playground thing.
Yeah.
He was running his mouth, and he remembers this just like I remember it. He said that what happened is he was talking shit in front of his friends, trying to sound badass or whatever, and he ran at me, and he was doing like a flying kick,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like Matrix shit. It was the coolest thing, and I even remember. He remembers it exactly as I remember it. I caught his foot in midair, and like he was frozen in air for about 5 seconds. Like I held him up in the air by his foot, and then I just dropped him. And like he ran off and something like that. Like he's like, I remember that day. I said, I remember it very well too. And it was like, I don't know, it was just I felt like I was invincible in elementary school for some reason. I would have friends line up and I'd let them punch me in the stomach. Why? I have no idea why. Thank you.
It builds up that core strength, maybe?
No, I
No,
had
it doesn't,
course,
no.
but it was a show off kind of thing. You know, I used to show off a lot, and I would do front flips.
Mhm.
I can't land on my feet. I would just run and jump as high as I can. I'd land on my back,
Mm.
and I thought I was badass, just landing on my back.
Speaking of like being like punching in the gut and everything, there was one of my friends growing up. I was probably like 9 or 10. I remember for like either Christmas or my birthday, I don't remember which. I got boxing gloves as a gift
Uh-huh.
because I was like huge into like the Rocky movies and everything.
Yeah.
And one of my friends was over where he was spending the night or something like that, and I was like, yeah, you know, I seen this in a Rocky movie that, you know, if we punch each other in the gut, you know, it's gonna like make us stronger there and
Mhm.
everything else. And so I convinced him to let me punch him repeatedly in the gut, and I punched him about 3 times probably, and with those boxing gloves on, and he gave up. He was like, "No, that's enough. That's enough." He's like, "My turn." I was like, "You know, no, it obviously doesn't work. I don't want to. I don't want to try it.
Uh-huh.
You know."
I remember those gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You remember my karate pads that I had? My
Yes.
gloves and my feet,
They're
the foot pads.
the black ones.
Yeah, the black ones.
Yeah.
And then my gi that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I would go to Robert Bowles with you whenever you'd have your training or whatever, and I'd just go sit in the sauna.
Yeah, I remember that sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be out there training your karate and shit, and my fat ass would just be in the sauna, you know, having a good sweat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a good time.
Walking on the mats, you had to bow to Buddha, and then you couldn't, walking off the mat, you couldn't have your back facing your sensei.
Mm.
You had to walk backwards out
Yeah.
and then bow again. And it's so stupid. Such bullshit. I remember that big Buddha statue. Never forget that thing.
Yeah.
But I love the smell of the gym. I loved it. I loved
I still
the dojo.
remember it. Yeah.
The
I still remember the
yeah.
smell of it, the look.
Yeah, all the pictures on the wall, the trophies. And
Mhm. Is that still? I mean, I know
Yeah.
the building's still there, but is
I think that one's still there. There's 2 of them. There's one, the downtown one.
the one on State?
And then State. There's one in downtown on
I think the
Calhoun.
one on State's not,
Next to the pizza joint. There's a pizza place
Yeah.
right next door to it.
but I don't know if that's still.
Yeah.
No, not that one. Not Raimundo's.
I don't know.
That's West State by Dana.
Yeah.
This one's a different pizza joint,
Mhm.
but it's. I could have sworn I think that building now because it's like a 2-story white
Yeah.
building.
It looked like a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was being used for something else.
It might
'cause I
be.
don't, or maybe it's just shut down completely.
The
I
one
don't know.
downtown is still open. I know that's still
Mm.
the dojo.
Because that's where you initially started, right? I
That's,
think
yeah, mom and dad for my birthday.
they signed you up
They
at that
they
one.
blindfolded me because they knew I wanted to be in karate for the longest time.
Yeah.
So they blindfolded me, put me in the truck, and it was a surprise. And mom took the blindfold off, and we're standing right there in front of the building.
Yeah.
And I almost started crying. I was so excited. I'm like, I'm gonna be fucking Bruce Lee. I am going to be the next Bruce Lee. Walked into Robert Bowles' office, and he's got this big smile on his face. We sat at the desk, and mom and dad signed some papers, and he says, "Welcome to Robert Bowles." And I was
Yeah.
ecstatic. Like I remember going to school telling kids like I'm a black belt. Like I just started. Like I'm not even a white belt. I haven't even gotten my white belt yet. But I remember doing the training and oh my god, it was so fun. So fun. The sparring. I sparred against adults because they were our teachers. They were our senseis.
Yeah.
And they did not hold back.
Yeah.
They did not hold. They would
Child
throw
abuse.
Yeah. Well, it would be now, but they would throw kicks and punches and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What do you think it was that started your
My-
interest in wanting to do karate?
Anger.
That's fair.
I mean, seriously.
But, I mean,
I think
you could have been like a boxer or something like that too. Like what was it about
it was
karate?
Paul.
That was before we knew Paul, though. I thought.
I don't know. I don't think it was.
Maybe not.
I think we knew Paul. I don't know, honestly, Scott. I have no idea.
Because I wonder if it's something like, remember the movie Perfect Weapon?
Yeah.
I think it may have been something maybe like that, or seeing the
Could've
Karate
been.
Kid, or something
Could've
along
been.
those lines.
I don't know. I've always had a fascination with karate. Like
Yeah.
there's other styles of fighting, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that I
Right.
would love to do, but for some reason, karate just I don't know. I was attracted to it.
Yeah.
No idea why. No, I still am. Like I want to join it again. I want to get back into it.
Yeah.
It was I mean,
I think it's good. Like
it is
not just for fighting and strength, but it's good
Yeah.
for like mental stuff as well.
And I remember I only made it to so I think the order of the belts I think was white, yellow, orange, and then so on. I think I made it to
There was
orange.
like a blue and a green somewhere.
Well,
in there,
yeah. But I'm saying I only made it to orange.
Oh, gotcha.
I think, and then mom and dad pulled me out of it because of my grades or something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But then I remember a few times Uncle Paul would come over to the house and he would teach me at the
Yeah.
house. So technically, I was a 3rd-degree black belt because Uncle Paul was still teaching me at the house. And I think he was a 3rd or 4th-degree Dan black belt, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember watching him fight a
Yeah.
few times.
I remember I watched him spar.
He was a big boy,
Yeah.
but he could move quick.
He was scary.
Like it was frightening.
Do you remember Paul? Was it Bear?
Or
Paul-
It
it wasn't
wasn't. It
Paul
wasn't
Bear.
Paul Bear. It
Yeah.
was Teddy.
Ted.
He was
The
called
short,
Teddy Bear.
The short
Yeah.
guy that was like 300 pounds.
That had a stroke, and
Yeah.
remember part of his face
Yeah.
drooped still. Yeah.
He was scary too.
Yeah.
Like, that dude could.
He kind of looked like a shorter version of Butterbean,
Yes. Yeah.
the MMA guy.
Yeah. You hear,
Same body type and everything,
you
just
hear the-
short.
You hear the story when Mom was at the dojo. She was also in karate.
Yeah.
And she was sparring against him. He was like training her or whatever.
Mm.
And the dude would not. He was doing 100%. Like he was throwing these leg kicks and like
Mhm.
hitting Mom. And Uncle Paul, I think he was out somewhere and he came back to the dojo or something like that. And he seen it.
Mhm.
And the dude just went like ape shit on this dude. From what Mom told me, I may have gotten it wrong a little bit, but I know he went off on this dude, and he never touched Mom like that again.
Mm.
But Mom, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I want to say I think that Bear guy. I think he's dead.
I think he did die. I
Yeah.
think so. He came to my garage sale years ago.
Really?
Yeah, when I lived in New Haven the first time. Remember that house?
Yeah.
Me and my ex, we lived there.
Right behind the school.
Yeah,
Right.
he came to the garage sale. Yeah, I was like, "Aren't you?" I said Bear.
Yeah.
I said, "Did you go to Robert Bullis?" He said, "Yeah." And I told him that my uncle was Paul, and he says, "Oh yeah, I remember Paul, or I know Paul." Yeah,
Well, because that's where Paul Stanley, right?
yeah,
He was also a instructor there, I think.
yeah. He wants to be on my podcast.
Yeah.
He
Because he's
reached out
a
to me.
preacher now or something, isn't he?
Yeah,
I
in
think?
California.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just remember him having a Goldwing
Yeah, no,
motorcycle.
I don't know if he had a Goldwing.
I think it was a Goldwing because it was huge.
I thought that guy always had Harleys.
I thought he had a Goldwing.
don't
I could
know.
be wrong, but it was huge. It had like a stereo system on it and all sorts of crap.
Really?
Yeah.
Paul Stanley.
I'm pretty sure.
He may have, but he's still into bikes.
Because him and his wife, they used to where they would almost travel the country on their bike, and like they had a route that they would take. I don't know why I still remember this, but they would have a route that they would take to where they'd kind of go like northern, like by kind of the Canada border,
Mhm.
and then go along the western coastline, go along the Mexican line
Really?
there, and then take that then all the way up to the eastern
I didn't know
seaboard, and then
that.
come back.
Hmm.
At least I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still into the whole biker thing.
Is he?
He's got a couple Harleys. And
I just
are you
remember he
friends
had
with
that.
him on Facebook?
I don't know.
No.
I just remember that long braided ponytail
Yeah,
he had,
I remember that
like
too.
down to his ass.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah, he doesn't have that anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, he's still in karate. I think he's still in karate.
He's got to be in
He's
his
mom.
60s.
He's mom,
Yeah,
mom, dad's age. Yeah.
mid to late 60s
Mhm.
probably, because I think he was even
He
a
might
little
be a
bit
little bit
older.
older.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Yeah, he was always very
Yeah.
nice, and
They all scared me though. I remember going over to Paul's house, Stanley.
yeah.
And Uncle Paul was there, and I remember a couple other guys that rode bikes. They were all there. It was me and Mom.
Because
I
didn't
wanna
Paul
say you were
live?
there.
It was like Lake and Anthony.
I have no idea.
Some road back there, like So you remember Pemberton?
Yeah,
I want to say I thought
it
he
might have
lived
been back
down
there.
on Pemberton, like down farther south.
Yeah, it may have been. Yeah, maybe.
I don't remember.
Sounds
It was
familiar.
somewhere in that area. I
Yeah.
thought is where they lived.
But I remember it was like a party that they were having, and Mom was playing cards with the ladies, and the guys were all in the kitchen like drinking and talking about bikes and stuff like that. And I'm just kind of like in between both the women and the men, and I'm like, this is really scary. Like, why am I here? I remember Hawaiian Bread being there.
No, naturally.
Yeah, there was.
naturally.
Yeah, that's where I think maybe I had first tried Hawaiian Bread.
Yeah,
was at Paul Stanley's house.
that would make sense. I
Yeah.
remember that. I think that might have been the first time I tried it, was with that group of people.
What kind of badass party has Hawaiian bread trays? That
the best kind.
Well, I'm saying like a biker, club.
They eat good too.
I'm thinking biker clubs are eating, chicken wings,
Croutons?
and croutons. Oh, that'd be it. Crouton. Okay? Sidetracking.
Okay.
What's the best party food? Like if you were to throw a big party, what's your spread? You got a big table set out. What do you put out on? The
Am I
table?
only picking one thing?
3 things.
Okay. Buffalo chicken dip
Uh-huh.
has got to be up there.
Uh-huh.
I love buffalo chicken dip, or any kind of dip, like chili con queso dip, just something
Uh-huh.
with a chip.
Mhm.
So meatballs
Mm-hmm.
and probably the wife's cheesy taters is up
Yeah.
there. Now, if I go to another party or
Mhm.
whatever, again, I expect to see some form of dip,
Mm-hmm.
at least a chip or a pretzel type,
Okay.
right? And meatballs is kind of the.
Do you put buffalo dip over chili con queso?
Yeah, buffalo. I
you
think buffalo
really?
dip's number one.
Oh, I'm
for
so
me.
tired of buffalo dip. I am so tired of it.
I've had it a lot,
Everything's buffalo now.
but I know
And
it's because it's
disgusting.
delicious.
No, it's not. It's ran its course.
I used to, when we would make buffalo chicken dip. I remember for Danny's graduation party that we had at our old house or whatever. We had a whole spread. Like I was grilling out hamburgers and hot dogs, and we had buffalo chicken dip, and we had just all sorts of stuff. Right.
Mhm.
I was taking the buffalo chicken dip, putting it on my burger.
That'd be good.
Game changer.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That was phenomenal.
But just alone, it's not that good. I've had
Oh,
so many
no.
been to so many not a lot, but parties where there's buffalo chicken dip,
Mhm.
and it's just I'm done with it. I'm so tired of it.
Nope.
Yep. Jimmy's mom made the best queso. That dip.
That was
That was
really
the
good.
best queso
Yeah.
I've ever had.
Yep.
And Jess made it. She got it. She messaged her his mom.
Oh,
and
really?
She gave her the recipe, and oh my god, Oh. I can make it. That's just my meal: breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes,
the queso
yeah.
dip. Mm-hmm.
There's times I'll take just a dip with me to
Mhm.
work, and that's my dinner,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Do you eat lunch at work? Do you eat
Well,
at
it's
work?
like lunch and
I don't
dinner.
eat. I've never eaten. Like I don't eat at lunch at work.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no, that's honestly, like during my work days, that's
Mhm.
the only time I eat.
I
Is
did
at
when I
work.
worked at the shop. 'Cause Saigon's is right there.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
every other job I've had, I don't. I'll go to the vending machine and get like a small bag
Right.
of chips or something, but that's it. It makes me tired, and I don't want to do anything the rest of the day.
It does. But that's the only time. Like I don't eat before work.
Yeah.
I wake up, I get ready, and I go. And then when I get home from work,
Well, what time do you go into work?
I get there about 1:45.
Oh, you don't eat before then?
No, because I wake up at like 12:30.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, I first wake up at like 6:30 to get the kids off to school and everything else.
And then you go back to bed.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm not going to bed until like 3 a.m.
That's true.
So I
Yeah.
wake up after about 3.5 hours of sleep, get the kids off to school, and then I have to lay back down, obviously, to get more sleep.
Yeah.
Get another 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
5 hours, and then start my day.
Yeah.
But
So I'm looking at you right now.
mhm.
You gonna dye that beard,
No,
or you've accepted the white?
yeah,
It looks good on you. I'm not saying anything wrong.
that's fair.
I'm just asking. Like, are you?
No, could you imagine if I dyed it?
I'm not like jet black. I'm just saying, like maybe a brown, light brown,
No,
something.
no,
No. Yeah, me neither.
I can go blonde.
No.
Just bleach
Do
it.
the frosted tips again.
Yeah, a frosted tip beard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, why don't we do one of these questions?
All right.
You want to pick one
Yeah,
first?
I'll do one first.
Think we got what, 10 left
I don't know.
total? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep,
10.
10 total. I like this. So this is kind of a fun, different kind of idea.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody out there that wants to also maybe submit just random questions, that would be fun.
Yeah. Why do you think she stapled some of them? Some of them aren't stapled.
I think to see if we would actually open them beforehand, and I don't know.
How's she gonna know?
That's a good point.
All
I
right.
think just based off of our reaction while opening it,
Yeah. This is a good one.
is or is not.
It is.
Okay.
What do you think you were like as a brother and a son?
Ooh,
You go
I mean,
first.
perfection on both ends.
Shut up.
No.
Perfection.
I would say only because of what I've been told when it comes to as a son,
Mhm.
I was very like easy. Like it wasn't like I wasn't difficult.
Mhm.
You know, for the most part I did what I was told. I didn't, push back.
Mhm.
I only remember I think maybe 2 times that I can remember that I was maybe grounded, or whatever. Like
Really? Are you
you
2
beat
times?
that in a day.
Jeez.
Yeah, no,
rookie.
I remember just being very, listening to the parents, did exactly what I was told
Mhm.
for the most part. As I got older, I know that there's a lot of times where I caused them stress and
Of course.
turmoil and headaches and everything else. Hopefully that's gotten better.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Mhm.
As a brother, I would say I was overall kind of a piece of shit growing up. I
wouldn't
think
say
I've gotten
that.
I think I've gotten much better as we've gotten older, but I think of all the times like when we were younger, like playing in the backyard or playing in the neighborhood or whatever. Like I ignored you a lot because I was always just playing with my friends, and you weren't like, even though you wanted to come out and be a part of us
Yeah.
and hang out and everything. Like I remember, like I was very mean,
Yeah.
and
You were.
but like so when I see like if my kids start doing that, like let's say Zoe is acting that way to Zach or Zach's acting that way to Zane or whatever the case,
Yeah.
like it pisses me off. It's like no, he wants to play with you too, let him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is because of how I know I was growing up. Now again, as we've gotten older and everything, I think that we've grown into pretty much not just being brothers but best friends the older we've gotten.
Yeah.
I think the older we've gotten, the closer we've become.
Yeah.
I just wish that it didn't take that long. I wish that when we were younger, we were super close to.
Mhm.
You
I
know?
don't think you were an asshole. Like you weren't a piece of shit brother.
That's probably just because you don't remember.
No, I remember a lot of that, but because there was an age gap, you had your friends.
only
your-
like 3 years, 3.5 years.
yeah, that's enough though. Like
yeah.
you wanted to hang out with your friends your age, and I wanted to tag on because I wanted to be. I didn't really have a whole lot of friends in that neighborhood. I don't think I did.
They were older kids.
They
for
were.
the most part. Yeah.
Sid
so-
was the only one my age.
right.
We hung around a lot. We played a lot, but I wanted to be with my brother. And that's all I wanted. No, but I totally get it. Like if Taylor, my oldest Taylor, and Ethan,
Mhm.
there's a pretty big age gap there, and like I totally get it.
What,
Ethan,
about like 5-6 years? I
yeah,
think.
Ethan.
Yeah.
There was times when they were younger, and Ethan wanted to, hang around Taylor, and Taylor was like, I don't want to. Like, I would say, Taylor, just hang out with them, play with them,
Right.
whatever, for a little bit. But she'd get mad, and like I get it. If I was in, if the roles were reversed, I was older than you,
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing. It's not that I hated being around you. It's just,
Right.
I didn't want to be around you. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
maybe it is partially the age gap. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't huge, but maybe if we were only a year and a half, 2 years apart,
Yeah.
maybe it would have been different. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. So what's your answer?
So,
How are you as a
what do
son?
you think you were like as a brother and a son? As a son, I was the Antichrist. I'm pretty sure I was. I had to have been. I can't remember when it had to have been around the divorce time. That's when
It was.
Yeah, that's when I started lashing out with everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because of the divorce. It had to have been. That had to have been part of it, right?
Hmm.
I mean, it didn't just come out of nowhere.
Right.
Like something had to trigger it. So
I mean, because I don't remember. I could be wrong, but I don't remember you being like a problem child or anything else like that prior to all of that whole time.
when
know,
did they get divorced? How old was I?
You
8?
were no. Well, yes, you were about 8,
8 or 9.
which
something
I
like
remember. Like when we went through, the therapy, the counseling, and
Mhm.
stuff like that. One of the things I remember is we were told, or maybe I read it. I don't remember now, but it's children between the ages of 6 and 9
that. Mhm.
are the ones that are affected the most and have the most adverse effects of a divorce or
Mhm.
something like that. Because if they're 9 or older, they generally have a better understanding of what's going on, and
Mhm.
they don't
Yeah.
fully understand it, but they can see what it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Children under 6, they're too young to even know what the hell's going
Mhm.
on, so it doesn't affect them either.
Mhm.
Between 6 and 9, it's kind of that in between stage to where it's like you don't know what's going on, you know that something bad's happening though, and you don't understand why.
Mhm.
And so it causes more of like lashing out and acting up and stuff like that
So
for
it's
those ages.
it's okay to use that as my excuse.
No, you're a
Not
grown ass
now.
man now.
No, I'm not saying now. I'm not. You've agreed that I've come a long way.
Yes, yeah.
Like
but if you're talking about like back then,
back then,
yes,
leading up to my adulthood, like that part of my life still played a factor in how
that formed who
yeah,
you are
so
even now.
That's what I'm saying. It was the beginning of this abomination that it.
Again, I wouldn't say though that's the excuse.
No,
but
it was at that time.
I think that's what started
Yes.
the
Yeah.
behavior
And
back then. Yeah.
Yeah, and then other shit in my life happened, and which
Right.
piled on to more shit.
Right.
But yeah, so as a son, I gave mom and dad a lot of shit. Um, like I don't remember being rebellious at like 8 or 9, but like in my teenage years,
Right.
I was very rebellious. I remember like at the house on Zuber,
Mhm.
Dad and Julian had a really nice dining room table.
Mhm.
They paid a lot of money for it. Dad told me, and I would carve anarchy signs.
Yep. I
with
remember
my
that.
knife.
I remember that. I remember them being so
Yeah.
pissed off.
Yeah, and then I carved anarchy signs in my wall in my room.
Yeah.
I would light things on fire. I would punch mirrors, and for what? I don't know. And then mom knew how to handle it better. She was more understanding, I think. Like I didn't really lash out with mom. I don't think I did.
No, it could have been a subconscious thing to where maybe you blamed dad for the divorce. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
And just disclaimer, we're not blaming either one for the
No,
divorce. I
no.
think that both were at fault for it.
Yeah.
I think to some degree both tried, but also at the same time both didn't.
Yeah.
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 And I now looking at how they are now, I don't think
Mhm.
that they would have meshed well if they stayed together for this entire time.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
So I think that it was
No.
almost better in the end.
Yeah.
Obviously for that to happen. But when you're young like that, especially your age when that happened, you don't see that. You don't think that way.
Yeah.
At that age. So I don't know, but it definitely, I think, from that point on is where you started acting out
Yeah.
and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, real quick before I get into being a brother,
Mhm.
like I remember there was one time I was dating my ex that I had Taylor with,
Mm-hmm.
she we found out that after we split up, she was dating one of my best friends, and found out. And mom, we're at home, and she says, "You want to go to his house?" I said, "Why, yes, I do." So we got in the car. We drove to his house, middle of summertime. He's out there washing his car, cleaning it,
Mm-hmm.
and mom pulls right up, like doing 100, not 100, doing like 40 miles an hour down his street. Whips into the driveway, almost hits the front bumper, and just parks the car right in front of his car. He stops, and he's got his eyes are like fucking huge. And he's
Yeah.
just looking at me, and I get out, and I don't say anything. I just walk right up to him. I'm in his face. I said, "Hey, Adam." He goes, "Hey, Joe." I said, "So what's this? I hear you're dating so and so." He said, "Oh man." He said, "Yeah, I'm sorry." He's like, "Dude, we can break up." Like, no. I said, "No, it's fine." And then we talked a little bit, and I think mom wanted me to kick his ass. I don't know. The way she
But
drove.
didn't you break up with her?
I did, but I was mad that she was dating my friend.
Okay.
And then we ended up getting back together. And it was a weird time in my life, along with many other times. I don't know. But mom was like, she wasn't an instigator, but at that time she was. She wanted me to fight.
Maybe not instigating, but she just not encouraged it even,
Yeah.
but was just, yeah, let's do that.
Mom,
like she went along for the ride.
I wonder if she remembers that. Mom, you remember that? I don't know. But okay, so as a brother, how would I describe myself as a brother? I don't like these because I don't know how to describe myself as a brother.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm a good brother. I think um I think you know what? This is weird because I thought about this on the way here. I was going to ask you this too. Am I an asshole? To
In
you?
what? Oh,
To you.
I thought you meant like in the
No,
just
to
general
you.
sense of the term. Are you an asshole
Honestly,
to me?
100%. Be completely genuine.
No.
Like sincere. Like, am I an asshole?
No. No.
Do I come across as an asshole
No.
to you?
I think sometimes I do, for sure. But like, let's say we're having a debate or we're talking about something, or whatever. I don't think there's ever a time that you are like just being an asshole.
Mhm.
I think that you get frustrated because I maybe don't agree with you on something or whatever. But I don't think there's ever been a time that you've been just like an asshole.
Well, no. What I'm saying is like my sarcasm. You're sarcastic and I'm sarcastic.
Right.
Does my sarcasm come across as being like mean?
No, because
No?
to me that kind of stuff
Okay.
doesn't affect me at all. It doesn't matter who you are.
Okay.
Like, because I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna dish it out. So it's
Yeah.
all in fun in my mind. So
Yeah.
even if you are actually being an asshole whenever you
Mhm.
say things, I don't take it that way. I'm like, oh, we're having fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say some shit right back to you.
Okay.
So it doesn't.
I was just thinking about that. I don't know why I thought that. Like,
No,
because I was thinking back to the last episode that we did, like how I was saying, like I have no filter, and that's with anybody. And I have when we're not doing a show like a podcast, and when we're talking, I don't know if some of my words come across as like being very, not very sensitive towards like
Oh,
certain
no.
subjects or whatever.
Like,
Because I don't care.
I think
and
that
I
you're
should,
very
maybe.
bullheaded and stubborn with what you believe
Mhm.
and things like that, and it's hard for anybody to convince you otherwise. But I still don't think that that's being an asshole.
Well,
I've never taken it that way.
I feel different. I don't know if you feel different. Like getting older, do you feel like a change? You feel like a actual physical, mental change happening, like to where I can't even describe it.
No,
don't even
I
how
know
to
what you mean.
describe it.
I know
Like,
what you mean.
where you don't care anymore. You care about a lot of things, but when it comes to feelings and being sensitive and tiptoeing around people's feelings, like I just don't.
I think
care.
a lot of that though also is just society in general with all the shit that we've had to put up with over the past 4+ years
Maybe.
of
Yeah.
all these different movements and the way that we're supposed to cater for a group of 3%,
Yeah.
0.03% feelings, and everything else. Like, I think people are just fed up with it. And
Right.
at that point, I don't, with what society has been like lately, yeah, I don't think it would have mattered if we were 20 or if we're 60. We're going to be just as vocal about some things and
Yeah.
not give a shit,
Yeah.
if we hurt your feelings or not. I think that's kind of just
Mhm.
with the times. I don't necessarily think that that's part of getting older, but at the same time, I think getting older, you kind of lose that give a fuck anyway.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's always, you know, the whole 80-year-old man, you know, get off my lawn, you
Yeah.
know, kind of thing. I think that that's a
I'm
part
that,
of it.
Yeah, I'm that now.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. Someone's walking down the sidewalk and they got to step over something. They're in my lawn. I'm not gonna go out there and yell them, but it's like, why are you walking in my yard?
Right.
You know?
Why are you using my driveway to turn around
Yeah.
in? You know, stuff like yeah.
But as a younger brother, I don't. Did I look up to you in a way? I did, because I always felt like I was the oddball between me and you. Like I was the black sheep
Mm.
because you were a good kid. It seemed like mom and dad always liked you more. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like just because of the way I treated them, and
Yeah.
you know, no fault on them because if I was in their shoes and I had two sons, you know, and the oldest was the respectful one, and you know the one that listened, and yeah, I'm gonna show favoritism probably, you
Yeah.
know, and I think they did, not knowing, you know, but it's whatever. I did look up to you. I wanted to, not necessarily. I didn't want to be like you.
Right.
I mean,
Just maybe do some of the things I did.
yeah,
Like you played trumpet because I played trumpet.
Yeah, I did.
You know,
I
things like
played
that,
the
yeah.
trumpet because you did, and you were a lot better than I. You could read sheet music. I couldn't. I just winged it.
Right.
I remember. I memorized a lot of the music just from the keys. Like
Yeah.
that's how I remembered it. But yeah, I mean, you played baseball, and then I got into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of envied you in a way because you were always the smarter one. I don't know, but as how would you describe me? Because I can't put that in words.
I don't know because I never wanted you around, so it's hard for me to.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
No, but see, that's part of it, and it kind of also correlates to our conversation the other night about, you know, being a parent and thinking about, you know, being scary because you're raising them for how they're going to be in the future.
Yeah,
Same thing with being like a sibling, like an older sibling specifically. I wish I would have thought that way back then, to where I would have wanted to set a better example for you and shown you better things, you know, to do in life and everything else. I didn't do that, and that's why I also kind of think that I failed.
Yeah.
Now, 10-year-old me is not going to think about that kind of stuff,
right. Yeah,
you know. But I think that that's important for, like, especially an older sibling to do for their younger ones is kind of show them a path, just like your parents would, but to show them how to do certain things or be good at this, or, you know, put certain things in priority and just that kind of stuff. And I don't think I did that with you or whatever.
I think when I was younger, like I was focused on a lot of stuff that probably kids my age didn't worry about.
Yeah.
Like I was consumed with like anger and
Right.
like I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I thought a lot of bad
Could just
things.
be the way you were wired too. Not
Yeah.
even anything that happened in your life. It just may be
Could be.
that's just the way you were
Yeah.
born. You know.
Next question.
Okay. I'm gonna grab from the
All
middle
right.
here. There we go. All right. Let's see what this one's gonna be.
Not stapled?
You're grabbing all the stapled ones. I
That
haven't
one
had a
wasn't
single.
stapled. This one
Well,
wasn't.
I'm just saying, like, I haven't had a single one that's stapled
Really?
yet.
Oh.
Yeah. What was your favorite childhood gift, birthday or Christmas? So think of any gift you were given for a birthday or Christmas. What was your favorite as a child? I know mine right off the bat.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, those are
I think there's a VHS or a Betamax video of me out there that Dad recorded when I got the Super Nintendo. I did the scream of joy that it's one of those embarrassing things to where I'll instantly turn red just thinking about it, kind of thing. Because I did this weird face and then a scream, and then I did this face again, in disbelief. It was stupid, but yeah, that was That's the biggest one I remember.
The Nintendo, not Super Nintendo.
No, it's the Super.
The Super Nintendo.
I remember
Okay.
the regular Nintendo
I don't
getting
remember
that, one day coming home from school.
I
We got
remember
the
the
bus,
Super
walked
Nintendo.
into the house.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo was for Christmas, and it's for both of us. And that had, Super Mario on it,
Mhm.
is what the game that came with it, and we played that for
Yeah, I
ever.
don't remember getting it. I know we had it, but I don't remember the day we got it.
Yeah, it was a
I don't remember
Christmas.
Okay, so yours is the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think mine would have to be my green bike that I got, and there's a picture of that also.
Mm.
Dad or mom wheeled it into the kitchen, and it was looking at it now, it was the ugliest bike. But for some reason, this bike just had all the bells and whistles, and I loved it. Like,
Yeah.
I loved the color, I loved everything about it. And
Did it have
just-
like the gears, like where you shift the gears
it
on
didn't.
it?
It didn't have
No.
any of that. It was
No.
just like not a mountain bike, but it was a what do you call it? It was
Like a BMX bike.
yeah, it was
kind
like
of
a
thing?
BMX bike kind of. But just something about it, because I was always fascinated with motorcycles and dirt bikes, and I didn't have that back
Yeah.
then. I had a bike which was close to a dirt bike in a way without an engine. So I was like, oh, this is cool. I finally got two wheels with no training wheels, and
Yeah.
just something about it. I love that bike. I love the green color. That for some reason has always stuck with me. That stupid bike. So that bike, and then, God dang, the punching bag. When I got the punching bag and the stand that it came with the speed bag,
Yeah.
that was a huge setup.
Yeah.
Like
That
that
was-
was
that was
like
nice, too.
Professional. Like it was on a big metal stand.
Mm-hmm.
It had the big punching bag and the speed bag behind it.
Yep.
Yeah, that. And then I have another one. Hang
Oh,
on.
keep going.
You remember my art desk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a almost like
Love
an
that.
architect
Yeah.
kind of desk where it's slanted.
Mom got me
Right?
that, didn't she? Mom and
Oh, I don't remember who got it for you, but I remember
I
you
think it was
having
mom, and it was she put a big blanket over it
it.
for
Mhm.
Christmas because obviously they can't wrap it. But it was in the family room in the corner, and that was my last gift I had to open. I just pulled the blanket off, and I freaking love that thing.
Yeah. Because it had like a ruler type thing that would slide on the desk, didn't it?
I don't remember the ruler. I thought it was just a big white table.
Okay,
That's-
maybe. Okay.
I think it. Yeah, and it could elevate. You can lift it
Yes,
up a little.
yeah.
It had a light on it. I think.
Yeah, I remember that.
I love that freaking table. So the three gifts, yeah. It was the punching
Mm.
bag, the art desk, and then the what else did I say?
Bike.
The bike.
So speaking of bikes, I was saying about this earlier.
Mhm.
Did you ever teach any of your kids, how to ride a bike?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, aren't you a good father?
Well, yeah. I think with
Not-
Taylor, it just kind of came natural. She
Not
was
a
just
one of my kids know how to ride a bike.
really.
Yeah, they all had bikes.
Hmm.
Actually, I think except for Zane, but the two oldest did, and they all had training wheels on them.
Hmm.
The last bike that Zoe had, I think it was a Frozen one. She was maybe 7 with training wheels or whatever, and we've never gotten her another bike. Not that she didn't want one, but it wasn't like a
Yeah.
priority. Zach's been wanting a bike because he wants to ride throughout the neighborhood with his friends and everything
Yeah.
else. They're all riding bikes and mopeds and everything
Yeah.
else. And he just walks behind them. He'll catch up eventually.
Get him an electric
And-
bike.
No, I want to get him like a bike and teach him how to ride it.
Yeah.
Because I was saying with this the other day, it's like, I have never taught our kids how to actually ride a bike without training wheels. I'm like, what kind of father am
Nothing
I?
wrong with that. I mean, like I said, Taylor. I remember when she was little. She had a little bike with training wheels. Me and her
Mhm.
mom, we would walk, and she would ride her bike, and eventually we took the training wheels off, and she just picked up on it right away. There was no really like me walking and pushing her and guiding her.
Right.
I think she picked up on it pretty quick. Ethan took forever. Like that dude couldn't figure it out, and I would work with him. Like not gonna lie, I would get really mad,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
would
boys
yell at him.
are clumsy. They're
Yeah.
uncoordinated.
Yeah,
and,
but it's like,
you know.
how are you not picking this up? This is so
Right.
easy. But he didn't learn, and it took him a while. But he rides a bike pretty well. And Vanessa, she's got a little bike now with training wheels, and she rides that around sometimes. And her mom is doing the most of kind of not necessarily training, but
Right.
walking behind her when they go on their walks, and so she knows how to pedal, she knows how to
Hmm.
turn and brake and whatnot.
Right.
But Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
You're kind of a terrible father.
I know. Like,
I'm kidding.
all my kids
What?
don't know how to swim either.
What do you need? What?
That.
The mouse?
Yeah. Let me say it real quick.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't know how to swim either.
Are
They
you serious? They don't know how to swim?
Well, doggy paddle maybe.
Jesus.
We don't ever go to a pool.
You never been to the lake? You gone
No, that's gross. I mean, they've been in the lake. You've seen that.
I know. You gotta teach them how to swim.
Doggy paddle. Or float on your back.
What are you doing with that mouse? Oh. Well, anyways, I mean, so.
No,
I don't know. Yeah, but doggy paddling.
Yeah. All right, so how about we do one more question?
Okay.
Okay. Your turn. Draw an envelope.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that we know I'm a bad father for not teaching my kids how to swim
It's
or ride a
fine.
bike.
What I think you need to do next time is next time we go to lake this summer and we go out on the pontoon.
Well, I'm
Just-
not getting in the water.
No, I'm just saying just throw them overboard.
Oh.
And then have dad just speed off and just yell like, you
And
guys,
throw a bike at them.
yeah, no, you better swim or you're going to drown. And that's how you teach them.
No. Oh my God. That means. Oh, that just.
So real quick,
Makes all my
I know, me too. I would never do
body
that. I'm
parts
just saying.
tingle like that's
There was-
a horrible thing.
There was one time, before I read this, we were when Jess and I were dating. Their neighbor, her dad's house, her neighbor, his neighbor had an in-ground pool,
Mhm.
and he would let us come over and swim. And so we brought our kids over, and Taylor was, God, I don't know, maybe 7,
Mhm.
and she, like I'm throwing all the other kids, like Jess's little sister, and then like her stepbrother at the time, whatever.
Mhm.
They wanted me to throw them in the pool, so I'm like throwing them in the pool, and Taylor's in her little area swimming, and like I'm throwing them, they're all like jumping on me, and I got to push them off, and Taylor's splashing around, and like I can see her. I check on her every now and then, and she's looks like she's okay, and she's like throwing her hands up in the air,
Uh-huh.
and she's like yelling, she's, "Dad, I'm drowning."
Oh,
And I'm like,
God.
I'll be over there in a minute. I thought she was playing. So like I'm throwing these kids, and she's like screaming, "Dad, I'm drowning!" And her head started going down.
Oh my
so
God.
I'm like, "Oh shit, she's serious."
Oh,
So
yeah.
I throw the last kid, and I take off after Taylor, and I pull her up, and she's crying. She says, "Why didn't you come and get me?" I said, "Babe," I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "I thought you were playing around," and yeah, that was a bad day for me.
Oh my. Oh yeah. That just makes
Yeah.
me hurt all over.
hmm All right. So next question from our mother.
All right.
Do you know how you got your name? I do.
Oh my God. Well,
I think I do.
I guess mine would make sense.
Yeah.
Since I'm a junior.
Yeah.
Uh,
Obviously.
I think that's pretty simple
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, right?
I know how
Is
you
it?
got. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
how you got your middle name.
Yeah, through the Bible.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't care about that.
Yeah, they
No,
did.
no, I'm not. I'm joking.
No, wait. Don't tell me. Wasn't that Cher's son? No, Cher's son was named Elijah, right?
I believe so.
And then Joseph was the Bible, the biblical name.
Well, initially you were supposed to be a girl.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Was that what they seen in the
No,
ultrasound?
I don't remember
They
if that's
seen
what they
nothing?
saw. Well, I mean that makes sense
Makes
too.
sense.
But no, I think
God dang it.
no, I think initially they thought that you were a girl. I don't know if it's from the ultrasound or maybe the
Mhm.
heartbeat, rhythm, something like that. And I don't know if they necessarily had a name, a girl name for you. I don't remember. But then they found out that you were a boy, and I want to say initially, Mom wanted to call you Elijah as your first name
Which I wish they would have.
or whatever.
Mhm.
And I don't know though why it switched. I don't know why.
Joseph, I'm telling you, it's from the Bible. Joseph, and then Elijah was Cher's son.
Like in the Technicolor Dreamcoat,
Yeah.
that Joseph
Yeah. Joseph was a badass.
or Joseph and Mary, because there's a couple different Josephs.
I don't know, whichever one. They're both badasses.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think they are. I could
don't
be
know.
wrong. But yeah, you're named after Dad, right?
Yeah, mine's easy.
Scott Allen.
I'm just a junior.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oops.
Okay. Let's do one more. We'll do one more. That was a quick, easy one. That way we are leaving with what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this only? Yeah, this is the fourth question.
Yeah.
You've read 2. I'll read two.
Okay.
Oh, I got a stapled one.
There you go. It's an important one.
It might be. Okay, this one has nothing to do like personal
Okay.
kind of stuff, but it's pros and cons with a cell phone. Could you live without it?
Yes.
Like completely live without a cell phone?
Yes.
I don't think I could necessarily live without a cell phone. I could go back to like the dumbed down, like, you know, Nokias or Razors, something like that, to where at least I could communicate with people without like having to go to a payphone, you know, or something.
Right now, I could throw away, if I knew that this was a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew I could get some land for free,
Sure.
like some land out in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
There's already a house out there, like say a cabin or whatever, you know, whatever it may be, and yeah, hang on. Good night.
Night, buddy.
Good night. What was I saying?
If you could get some land,
Yeah,
if
I
it was
could get,
possible.
like, just stop everything, stop technology, and
Yeah.
just go and live like the 1800s. I would do that in a heartbeat.
That means no podcast.
No, we have the podcast still.
Oh, but the 1800
we have
kind
the
of podcast.
We have electricity. Okay, you know what? Forget all of that, what I just said. What I'm saying is I could live without a phone because I get so tired of seeing people with
So
their
the phone
faces.
is the only like technology you could live without, though.
Do we need it? Yes. Is it a necessity? No. I mean, we don't even need it. We don't. Can we go back to just the freaking home line or the landlines? That would be amazing.
You could, but I think being able to reach anybody, no matter where you're at, is a benefit. If I
Pagers.
if I can go back to like the Nokias and stuff like that, where you're using the T9 to text, you know, where you have to push, you know, what, 4 times to
Yeah.
hit 7, or to get an S, you know, things like that. If we can go back to something like that, to where you had no games on your phone, you had no social media,
Yeah.
nothing like that,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
You know, to where you just call and text, that's it.
Maybe I'll be okay with that. But I just think we're advancing too fast. Maybe it's not even that fast. But I'm thinking
I think it's pretty fast.
You think it is fast?
Yeah, because I mean, so humans have been around for, let's just call it tens of thousands of years, right? Nobody really knows.
Mhm.
Let's say tens of thousands. You look at 1,000 years ago,
Mhm.
you know, you're looking at like the medieval times,
Yeah.
with swords and like the chainmail and stuff like that, you know, and
Mhm.
armor and what have you, castles with drawbridges and whatever. You look at 100 years ago, and so that's what, 1920s.
Mhm.
You're looking at a time where some people had cars, most people didn't.
Mhm.
You know, they didn't have anything like fax machines
Mhm.
or anything like that. You know, they
Yeah.
had the post office. You could send something in the mail,
Yeah.
get a letter, and that was just 100 years ago. Now look at 50 years ago.
Mhm.
That'd be the 70s.
Mhm.
70s, you still didn't have cell phones. I think you had fax machines.
Mhm.
Still had the mail and everything else. But you look 20 years ago. Even just 20 years ago, things were a lot simpler just 20 years ago. 2006,
Yeah.
they didn't, I mean, there were cell phones, but you didn't have, maybe the iPhone 1 was
Yeah.
around, maybe around that time. But where we've come in just 20 years' time,
Mhm.
and then if you look 10 years ago, and then you look 5 years ago, and just look
Mhm.
last year,
Yeah, no, you're right.
AI was around,
You're right.
but was as prevalent as it is now.
Yeah.
You know, so the longer we go,
Mhm.
or the further we go into the future, the quicker things are developing, I think. And it's getting scary.
How far do you think this will go? Like how
Till
much?
we're dead.
I mean, do you think like
Till
like-
all of mankind's gone.
like progress? I wouldn't even call it progress because I don't think it's progress. We're dumbing down.
I think
everything.
in some degree it is.
I don't.
I
no.
think there's a lot of benefit to some things, like
maybe
technology
maybe
advances
medicine,
and stuff. but
medicine.
Yeah,
there's
yeah, that's a big
advantage
one.
in that. But I think we're going too far with everything, and yeah, it's going to eventually. It's it's killing people. It's literally killing.
It's making them dumb.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's making. There's a lot of movies out there that shows why this is a bad idea.
Like, have you ever seen Idiocracy?
Yeah. No, I haven't. No.
Oh,
I haven't seen
amazing movie
I thought I had.
with Owen Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
or not Owen Wilson, the brother,
Luke,
the one that's not as
Luke?
famous. Luke.
Luke Wilson. I
Right.
think it's Luke.
It's with him. It's got Terry Crews in it.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Crews plays the president of the United States, and he's like wild.
Mhm.
Like a quick synopsis, basically, of the movie is that Luke Wilson's character is in the military of some sorts in present day. It was like early 2000s or late 1990s. I forget when it came out, but he's put in like this bariatric chamber type thing, like time capsule, something like that,
Mhm.
to where, hey, we're gonna wake you up a year from now and just see, how your body handled it and everything else. Well, that program from the government got shut down. They forgot about him. The building got destroyed. He's still in this time capsule and everything else. He gets woken up like however many years into the future.
Mhm.
And in the future, everybody is so much more dumb. Like,
Mhm.
dumb. They're so dumb that they are using, it's one of the, like, Pepsi or Coke. It's a pop that they use to fertilize, like, their crops and their yard and everything. And they cannot figure out why they can't grow any crops.
So it's a comedy.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
it's 100% a comedy.
Okay.
But it just shows that the further we go along, the dumber we get.
I have to watch that.
You need to watch it. It's actually
I-
good,
Yeah.
but it's frightening because that's where we're headed.
I was thinking more along the lines of Wall-E. You ever seen that movie? This
Nope.
the animated movie.
Nope, never seen that
The
one.
little robot dude that goes around collecting trash.
Right.
So like the Earth was destroyed, and like civilization lives on this big ship
Mm,
that's like out in space, and everybody's fat. Everybody is
that
like
makes sense.
obese, and they have these chairs that they sit in that are like hover chairs, and they just wherever they want to go, they just move around, and everyone's got like cheeseburgers and big soda pops
Mhm.
and whatever, and they're just huge, and they all wear like these tights, like there's red tights and then blue tights for whatever certain families, whatever, I don't know, but that's what it was like.
Mm.
And so Wally has to go. Wally, the little machine dude, goes to Earth, and his mission is to try to find life, and he finds a little plant that's growing, and like that's his objective is to find. So he finds it, puts it away inside of his little cabinet thing in his chest, and sends it back to the mothership, and then they start life again back on Earth. It's just that's where I see everybody going. Like
Right.
everybody's getting fat and lazy and
dumb.
and dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, with technology and the way the advancements and all this shit, and so MySpace started it all.
MySpace was good.
If we
though.
would have stopped at MySpace, I mean, if MySpace,
I'd have
was
been
still-
happy.
Yeah, no Facebook, no Twitter, no
Yeah.
Instagram, none of that other bullshit.
Keep YouTube. YouTube's good.
It used to be. Now it's full of stupid shit.
Oh, there's a
It's
lot of
just-
stupid shit, but you just gotta
And-
search up the good shit.
Yeah, and these people make millions off the stupid shit. Like that,
Right.
whatever that little boy's name is, where Ryan's World, where all he does is people send him gifts,
Oh,
and
the
he opens
toys
it,
and everything else.
in front of the camera, and the dude makes millions of dollars. His parents quit
Right.
working, and they just live off of what their son makes. You know, he's still doing it. I think he's 13 or 14 now.
Like, do you think it's stupid
It's-
because you didn't think of it first?
No, no.
You
What
know,
I'm
'cause-
saying is, okay. Here's the question: if you could do that, would you? Like, if you knew
No,
your
I
kids,
would never use my kids.
I would never
to
use
make
my
money.
kids either. But I'm
No.
saying I would never do that.
No.
But what I'm saying is, if you like what we're doing now, the podcast,
Mhm.
I have hopes and dreams that either our podcast or my podcast or even both of them could eventually become big. And,
Sure.
That
Something to where you can make some money.
Yeah,
off of.
it's a far stretch, but it's a possibility. It could
Right.
happen.
Sure.
That's what I want that to happen. But like, would you? And I don't know if I want to venture off into like doing like I talked about doing video podcasting
Mm.
where we try new things. Like a company will send us a case of beer like that we've never heard of, and we try it. Like,
Right.
are you okay with doing that? But like, where am I getting at? I'm
Like
trying
I would never encourage my kids to do that,
no,
to start up a podcast or to,
Yeah.
to have their own YouTube channel or
No.
whatever. There's videos that like Zoe will create like a not slow motion, what is that? Like to where it's like she's putting stuff away, the groceries and stuff like
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
it's like clips and it jumps to scene
Yeah.
to scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
To where it's fast,
Yeah.
right? And she does a really good job doing it.
Yeah.
And she wants to create a YouTube channel and do all these things.
Mhm.
I was like, no, it's not. No, I think they're good videos. It's well done, and
Mhm.
everything else.
But knowing if she can make a lot of money doing that, just those little videos, you wouldn't let her do it.
I guess here's my thought: is that for one, I would never want her face to be shown on it
Mhm.
while she's still underage and everything else.
Yeah.
No names, nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's just simply the video of things being put away or
Yeah.
organization, whatever the case. And no, I know, but if she had her own YouTube channel though, that'd be completely separate. If there was any money to be made by that though, that's all going into her account that she will be able to access when she becomes an
Yeah.
adult. I don't ever want.
No.
I would never quit my job
No.
so that way she could
Of course
do
not.
this and provide
No.
for the family.
No.
I think people that do that, families
Yeah.
that do
They're
that,
pieces
it's
of shit.
well,
I
it's
think
not
they
that
are.
they're
No,
pieces
I
of
think they
shit
are.
because they have a hand in it too because they have to produce it, they have to do all that stuff. But I'm not going to use my kids. It's almost like child labor.
It is.
You know what I mean? I'm never going to live off of my kids.
Yeah. Time
It's
to wake
never gonna
up.
happen.
Let's not gonna eat. Let's eat our breakfast and let's make a
Mhm.
video. That's weird. That's just
Right.
like, is it, you guys ready to make a video now? Let's. I couldn't. It's kind of sick.
Yeah.
It's
If
sick.
they want to do something like that and they can make money off of it, great.
Yeah.
This is going to go into like a college fund for you, or
Right.
this will go into something that you can withdraw from when you turn 21
Yeah.
or something like that. I'm not ever going to touch that. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just not for me. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
I could do without a lot of technology, just because of the issues that I've had over the years with technology and
Yeah.
issues it's caused. And yeah, I could do without it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
All right. You want to save these questions for next time? The rest of them?
How many's left?
6.
6.
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Let's save them.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this was a good one.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Again, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been
if you
fun.
haven't yet, give us a follow. Comments are appreciated. Yeah, so we try to respond to the comments. with
We've
them.
had one.
I was thinking of my podcast.
Oh,
that
okay,
I
fair
have
enough.
two
Fair enough.
comments.
Oh, 2.
I have
That's
2.
Double.
Yeah, but seriously, share the hell out of the podcast. Get it out there. If you'd be interested in being on the podcast,
Absolutely.
that there's a possibility that could be, that could happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, thanks for listening, and
We're always looking for new things to talk about, discuss, whatever. So if you have
Yeah.
ideas, please throw them out there.
would you be opposed to doing a live podcast? Like, remember mine on Podbean? Would you?
Oh, yeah, I
where
remember
you
that.
can have callers come in.
I'm not opposed to that. We would have to figure out how to do that.
It's easy. You just go to Podbean and you hit live.
Yeah, but who knows about
Everybody,
Podbean?
Podbean's huge.
I've mentioned
It
it
is.
to people like, what the fuck is that?
No, it's okay. How many people have you mentioned it to?
Maybe 2.
Okay,
Like my
it's
kids.
huge. There's millions of people on Podbean.
Really?
Yeah, and like a lot of the big podcasters are also, they go on Podbean.
I mean, we could check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I did it that
It's what,
one.
where you have like callers call
Yeah.
in and
Yeah,
are they calling your cell phone?
no, they just call into the whatever the channel. I don't.
Oh, I was saying I'm
Remember,
not
you
giving
did
out
it.
my number.
You did it when I was doing mine.
Yeah, but I called. Oh, that's
No, you
right. I
did.
just clicked on
Yeah.
the one thing on the app.
Yeah, that's all it is.
We could check that out.
It's like TikTok. If you want to join into the live, you just click on the box, whatever, and you're live with that person.
I'll tell you what, people. If you want us to do something like a live thing,
Yes.
if it's something that you would call in and be a part of or something like
Mhm.
that, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm down to try it.
Okay. All right. So again, thanks for listening. Have a good day, good evening, good night.
Oh boy.